You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Kiwi sprinter Danielle Aitchison has been selected for the upcoming Paralympic Games in Paris. Now, this is not a surprise. She is the reigning para world 200-metre T36 champion, setting a world record of 27.47 seconds to claim that gold medal in Kobe in May. She also claimed 100-metre T36 silver in Kobe. Danielle Aitchison attended the last Paralympics in Tokyo, where she won silver in the women's 200-metre T36 and bronze in the women's 100-metre T36. Danielle Aitchison is with us. Congratulations on the confirmation of your place in the Paralympic team for Paris. Danielle, how long would you say this has been a goal of yours?
Since Tokyo, it's definitely been a goal it's been in my sights, and for the last 3 years, it's what we've been targeting every year. It's what we push ourselves to do, and so I'm really excited to get over there.
How strange an event was Tokyo? We were in COVID times, of course.
Yes.
It wasn't normal. How do you reflect on it?
Yeah, it definitely was a different experience, especially with the COVID situation, with no spectators, being quite isolated and having to follow all the COVID rules in terms of sanitation, mask wearing, as well as I was quite young back then when I went to Tokyo Paralympic Games. So it's definitely a very different experience, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this Paralympic game brings.
I bet. Well, it's been a really impressive recent few months for you. Can I take you back to Kobe in May, where you won gold at the World Champs, a world record time, 27.47. How do you remember that day?
It was, it's still so mind-blowing, the results that I got, because it had been such a stressful few months leading up in terms of the classification. I was up for review of classification, which was the purpose of me going to World Champs. And so I had that looming over me. And so to get confirmed T36 as a classification, I was just really wanting to go out there in the 200 and have fun. I'd gone over and I'd achieved what I needed to achieve, which was the T36. And so, it was just so mind-blowing. I was just so focused on myself, and to cross that line and I was just in disbelief that I had run that fast and got that time, and it was just incredible.
I want to come back to that race, but can you talk to us about the classification process and the stress that it caused you? Your T36, as I understand it, you could have been reclassified as T38. Can you just tell us the ins and outs of that?
Yes, yeah. So as a para-athlete, we go through the classifications, and we are often put up for review of classification, which can be a timeline of from 6 months to 4 years kind of thing. Because I have cerebral palsy, our disability changes so much that I was put on 6 months review 18 months ago, so then I had to get reclassified at World Championships last year in Paris, and then they put me on another 6 months review, so then I had to get it done again at this World Championships, and that was just to be reclassified 3 times within 18 months is just so unusual, and it definitely put a lot of stress, because it was they're really unsure if they're putting me on that much reviews. So there was a lot of, a little bit of, am I going to be changed to T38? Because if I was changed to T38, it's a whole different ball game in terms of events and times and qualifications. It was a lot fighting on World Championships this year.
Why do they have the reclassification process, Danielle? Surely if you're T36, you're always T36, aren't you, or not?
Not necessarily. Just because, it can, honestly, my disability can change from day to day.
Right.
And so it just depends on the day how my cerebral palsy is going to behave, I guess. And so sometimes they might see me present as very normal. Some days I can present very cerebral palsy like, and so it can just depend on what they see and what they pick up. That's the end result, really.
If they had reclassified you to T38, what would have been the repercussions of that?
The first one being my events. T38s only have 100, 400 and long jump in terms of like that I would be interested in. So they wouldn't have my favourite event, which is 200. And I have not trained for 400. I would never do 400 as the worst event ever.
Yeah.
And I haven't trained for long jump. And so, and the events will change, and then they also run a lot faster than T36s, so I would need to be running a lot faster to meet the qualification times as well.
Well, I'm glad it's all worked out okay. Back to the 200, 27.47. You said that you couldn't believe that time. How fast do you reckon you can now run? Have you reset your aspirations and your goals in terms of how fast you can run 200?
No, I definitely think I still have more in me, and I'm still really excited to see what I can do at the Paralympics. I definitely think there's no limit to what I'm willing to put down like a figure. I'm literally just like, whatever will happen will happen. I'm just really excited to see the time that I actually do produce.
Do you give equal focus to the 100 metres?
Yes. Yeah, I'm equally focused on both of them, and I'm probably a little bit more actually on the 100, specifically because the 200 I feel a bit more confident that I know exactly what I need to do. I also have a bit more time in the 200 to fix up any mistakes that I might necessarily make in the block starts or etc. Whereas the 100 is literally, you don't have that much time to do anything. It's a lot of, it's a very short race, and you've got to get everything perfect to run it.
So is the 100 metre, 200 metre double here what we're after here? Is that your goal, to win them both?
Yes, I would really like to do that.
It's probably a silly question, isn't it? I mean, the 200, as you say, is one you've been so successful in.
Yes.
Where have the improvements, or what's been behind the phenomenal improvements in your times in the last 12 months? Because as I understand it, over the New Zealand summer, you were just setting PB after PB. Yeah,
it's definitely a lot of factors. I think it was last year I specifically had a lot to reflect on, and I found that I was hitting a plateau in terms of my performances. I wasn't really happy with just having the same performance. I really wanted to make another improvement, and so we reached out to a few different people to get their eyes on point where they think that I can improve. I also think so in terms other than technical, I also think it's been a massive mental game as well. I really pushed myself this year to put myself in uncomfortable situations or outside of my comfort zone, especially in the racing situation, because that's obviously what I need to do is practice racing. And so during the New Zealand season, I would put myself in groups of girls that are faster than me to really practice the environment of racing.
Outstanding. Well, you should do the 400. That'll make you uncomfortable.
Oh, no way. I would literally die if I do that.
Oh, wow. Well, so what does the next couple of months as you put your final touches on your preparation for the Paralympics look like? What have you got coming up?
I've got about a month still here in Hamilton, home, where I'm just going to be working with my coaches, and we're going to be making some fine-tuning, some technical things, and then I'm going to head over to Brussels in Belgium, and I'll do a few competitions over there, as well as climatise for the heat, because it is very cold here in Hamilton. It's ridiculous. So I'm really looking forward to getting to the heat, and then I head into pre-camp with Athletics New Zealand, and then into the village.
And are you able to have friends, family with you this time? Because I know in Tokyo, rather, spectators. Yes. There were no spectators. So are you going to have a support crew this time?
Yes, I've got a big support team of 9 people coming to the Paralympic Games. So it's really exciting to have actually my family supporting me and the crowds and watching me.
Fantastic. Danielle, Terrific stuff. What a year or so you've had, and I know there's more to come. We can't wait to see how you go in the 100 and the 200 metres in the upcoming Paralympic Games in Paris. Thanks so much for taking the time for a chat.
Thank you.
Danielle Aitchison there, Paralympic sprinter. What a delight to chat to her. 27.47, the world record she set to claim that gold medal in Kobe in May. Going from strength to strength and running both the 100 and 200 metres at the Paralympics in Paris. Look out for that name, Danielle Aitchison.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.